In today's video, we're gonna talk about losing 20 pounds in the next 6 weeks. And the idea for this video comes from you guys. So I really appreciate you guys sending me your great questions. It goes like this: I'm looking for help and suggestions. I'm almost 50 years old. Me too, turning 50 this year. I need to lose about 10 to 20 pounds in 6 weeks. I have a somewhat sedentary lifestyle and too much visceral fat. What would you recommend? So this is a question I get all the time, and I've built some tools for you guys that are free. So first thing I want to talk about is what makes us lose body fat and how quickly can we lose body fat. The more body fat we have, the faster we can lose it. And so when someone says to me they want to lose 10 to 20 pounds in 6 weeks, normally I would hesitate a little bit, but I get from the sense here, you're not doing a lot in the way of being active, and you're probably not doing a lot in the way of being diligent with your calories or even paying attention. And these are the two major factors that are going to determine your success in fat loss. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your caloric intake? If you don't know, you will never lose weight. Why? Because there's a compensatory effect from activity, from cardio, especially from high intensity activity. What I find is that hunger increases. Whereas low intensity cardio, low intensity steady state, going for a walk, is so low intense that your body breaks down body fat for fuel. Now, the only problem with that is that the time commitment is a little greater. But the benefit of that is that you can do it at any time. As an example, one of my favorite things to do is when my kids are at soccer practice, I walk the entire time I'm there. And at 50 years old, I've never been able to keep as much muscle and keep as little body fat as easily as I was in the past. And the two things that I'm doing, I'm really paying attention to my daily activity. And believe me, I sit at a desk all day. So if I don't pay attention to it, it's very easy for it to be next to nothing. But I'm also paying attention to my calories. And I'm gonna give you guys a free tool. I have the link to my calculator below, prophysique.com/calculator. And what you need to do if you're not currently tracking your calories is you need to start somewhere. So you go to the calculator, you plug in your age, you plug in your goals. And for someone that wants to lose 10 to 20 pounds in 6 weeks, we're talking about 2 to 3 pounds a week, right? If you're losing 3 to 4 pounds a week, that's gonna put you near that 20-pound mark. And depending on your lifestyle, listen, our bodies do not love to have body fat. You're gonna have to learn to deal with being a bit more accountable. You're probably gonna have to learn to deal a little bit with some hunger. But understanding that when you have a lot of body fat, those fat cells are gonna signal you to eat more frequently, okay? When you lose body fat, your appetite's gonna adapt over time and your hunger will decrease because your body requires less calories to maintain. You have to understand that the body's goal at all times is to maintain homeostasis. So when you put on a bunch of body fat, your body's goal is to remain there. As soon as you switch gears and start moving more and start paying attention to your calories and creating a caloric deficit, that gap between how much you're taking in and how much you're burning is what's going to determine how much fat you lose. Once you start doing that, there are going to be some days where you deal with a little bit of hunger, but as soon as you learn to deal with that, you're going to really get some momentum going. Don't limit yourself in terms of how much activity you can do. Don't limit yourself in terms of what your calories you can take in. Find the happy medium. Do not make it difficult, okay? I've heard some people say, well, I don't have time to do my cardio. I don't have time to do my training. Don't make it difficult. Find a home gym, okay? Buy some equipment. Perhaps you could focus on a gym that's in your neighborhood, right? Maybe your community has one. Maybe you find the closest gym to your house. Maybe you don't even use a gym. Maybe you work out at home and you buy a treadmill like I have for my house. There are days when our lives are going to get in the way of our goals. So you need to create a path to reach your goal that does not require you to have a complete change of livelihood. I've said it many times, but body fat is not stubborn. People are stubborn. And oftentimes that stubbornness means we want to keep doing the things that we've been doing without changing, but we want a different result. So look at the calorie calculator, download a free app like Nutrition IX. Start plugging in what you're taking in. You might find that there are some things that you're doing that add extra calories, right? Higher fat meats, okay? Fats have a lot of calories. Things like, are you consuming calories through beverages, okay? I rarely ever drink my calories. Why? Well, because it's just easier to consume them and there's less satiety. I would much rather have some solid food when I'm trying to get my calories in. And the big one for me is being more active, being proactive in creating movement throughout my day, getting up and going for a walk. If you've got dogs, walk them more frequently. If you've got kids, go in the backyard and play soccer with them. If your kids are at sports practice, don't throw out a chair and sit there, take a walk. If you work in an office and you get a couple 15-minute breaks throughout the day, get up and go for a walk for those 15 minutes. You'd be amazed how many calories we can burn throughout the day just by being a little bit more diligent. So yeah, it really is just going to come down to, like you said, you're a little bit sedentary, creating a path where you can move a little bit more, eat a little bit better. And if you need specifics, reach below. You can set up a free consultation to discuss coaching, but it's hard for me to give you specifics. And if you want more specifics, the questions need to have a little bit more information. But hopefully this helps you get things started. And if you have any specific questions, put it below. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.